back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. So part 3 of the Baddies Caribbean Auditions was even more of a hot mess than part 1 and part 2. Not only did Natalie, Shenseea, and Spice have these girls twerk battling for tickets, but they had them rap battling for tickets, doing push-ups for tickets, and unfortunately fighting for tickets. And I noticed that a lot of the girls from Jocelyn's Cabaret are trying to jump ship to Baddies because a lot of them were at this audition. Right now we're talking about Amber, and I think her name is Chanel. They were both from Jocelyn's show originally. I don't know them. I'm not familiar with them because I don't watch that show. But both of them were auditioning for Baddies, and they were saying that they had gotten into a fight earlier that day during the audition process, and so they ended up fighting again for a spot on Baddies. Now, from what I've seen, Amber is the one that took over that fight, whereas Chanel kind of got dragged a little bit. Now, I think Natalie, Shenseea, and Spice agree with me on that because they ended up giving Amber the ticket. These girls that are auditioning for this season of the show are wild. They would walk into the room with Natalie, Shenseea, and Spice, and they would be super loud, talking over not only each other, but also the judges who they're supposed to be trying to impress. And they were just really loud and getting into fights every which way. It was just really crazy. But Zeus is very unorganized when it comes to the audition process because it kind of makes it not so fun to watch it when it's so loud and you can't hear anybody talk. Like, we literally don't get to know any of these girls who are trying to audition to even want them to be a part of the show because it's just too unorganized. And then on top of that, Natalie and Shenseea were throwing tickets up in the air, and the girls were basically on the floor scrambling around trying to get a ticket and fighting each other if the other person got it and they didn't. One girl was doing an interview with Bobby, and she showed him that she had Natalie's signature tattooed on her boob. Basically, she's trying to copy what Smiley did in order to get attention to be on the show, even though Smiley's tattoo was fake, and this girl says that hers is real, and she was basically trying to come at, Smiley for having a fake tattoo of Natalie's signature. I personally would not get anybody's name tattooed on me, but if I was going to do something for clout, I would do what Smiley did and not get it really tattooed on me. Like, why would you do something like that? And then on top of that, I don't remember seeing this girl the entire audition process, and I'm pretty sure I saw the cast list and she's not one of the people on it. One girl named Blush ended up coming into the audition room, and she started talking about how she wants to fight E.T. and that's why she wants to get casted because none of the girls stood on business when it came to E.T. this season, and she's going to be the one to do it. And Natalie was just sitting there laughing. I'm pretty sure Natalie does want somebody to fight E.T., but that was kind of irrelevant to say because I'm pretty sure E.T. is not going to be a part of this season. They already dropped the cast list, and because of all the drama with E.T. and all the other girls on the show last season, I don't think she's going to be casted for this show for a very long time. And while Blush is trying to audition Wet Wet, I think she's from Jocelyn's Cabaret, but I'm not really sure because I'm not familiar with that show. I don't watch it. But she started telling the judges that the reason why she should be casted over the other girls who were from Jocelyn's Cabaret is because she stood on business. She fought everybody that she needed to fight and didn't back down. I can't verify what she's saying because I didn't watch the show, but she seemed very confident in what she was saying. But while she was talking, Blush was saying things underneath her breath, like basically saying nobody cares what Wet Wet is saying, and Wet Wet can hear her, and so she ends up questioning Blush on what she's saying, and the two of them start fighting, and Wet Wet takes the microphone and she beats this girl over the head with it multiple times during the fight. It was just really crazy. I was actually surprised that they ended up giving both Blush and Wet Wet a ticket. I understand that Wet Wet would probably be really entertaining for the show, but because she busted this girl in the head with a microphone multiple times, I don't think it was a good idea to give her a ticket. And then these two girls that were standing in the back, one's name is Ooh La La and the other one's name is Nunu, they get called up to the front by the judges, and the two of them are talking about how they fought earlier in the day over something stupid, and Natalie tells them that they only have one ticket left to give away, so the two of them start fighting over this ticket, and I'm pretty sure that Nunu is the one that got the ticket, only because I saw the cast list, and that's the reason why I'm assuming that she's the one that got it. So this girl who was legally blind ended up showing up into the audition room, and she starts telling the judges that she wants to be on the show because she's a rapper. And when Spice said, "Why do you want to be on this show when you know there's a lot of chaos and a lot of fighting? How are you going to be able to defend yourself if somebody puts their hands on you?" And she said that she can see a little bit, but that she doesn't think she's going to get into any fights this season because she only wants to be there to rap and do business. And I understand where she's coming from, but there is a level of concern for somebody who is legally blind to be on a show where there's so much chaos and fighting, because it's not going to be fair if somebody goes after her. And so even though they knew that they weren't going to cast this girl for the show because it's just not safe for her to be on it, Spice still decided that she was going to give her the golden ticket that would award her $5,000. And while Spice is trying to hand this girl the ticket, one girl comes running from the back of the room and she attacks the blind girl from behind. She starts beating on this girl. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, that was disgusting. And Spice starts yelling. She's trying to get over there, but security is trying to pull the fight apart. It was just really messy. And I don't understand why that girl thought that it was a good idea to attack a girl who's legally blind. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And even if this girl was not legally blind, why are you attacking a girl who didn't come up there trying to fight anybody, didn't say anything mean to anybody? She's just trying to get her ticket and leave, and you attack her from behind. That's not something that's cute. Natalie didn't like it, Shenseea and Spice didn't like it, and all the other girls that were there auditioning at the time didn't like it either. Unfortunately, Natalie does need to take a little bit of accountability for this, because as much as Natalie said that she did not like what happened, and she said that people need to, keep a level of integrity, I feel like she, built this type of environment where these girls feel like they have to fight to get noticed and to get on this show. They've basically been making girls fight this entire audition process, and so maybe that girl felt like that's what she needed to do to get on the show. There was this one girl that was running her mouth a lot, like basically saying that nobody's gonna try her and that she's the baddest one in the room. And because nobody tried her, Natalie ended up handing this girl a ticket. And one girl that had a green skirt on didn't like the way that the other girl was running her mouth, so she ran up to her and she snatched the ticket out of her hand. Now, they were getting ready to fight, okay, over this ticket, because Natalie, Shenseea, and Spice told them that if they want the ticket, that they're gonna have to fight for it. And so the girl who originally had the ticket, that was running her mouth a lot, was taking her time, taking her shoes off, unbuckling them. She was popping her nails off, trying to take her earrings off. It was just a waste of time. And then the two of them ended up fighting and she ended up getting beat up. But, they both ended up getting a ticket anyway, because Shenseea, Spice, and Natalie ended up throwing a bunch of tickets in the air, and she was one of the people who caught them. And then I just was so embarrassed for these girls, because at one point Natalie had them all twerking, and Shenseea said that the room started to smell really bad, and one of the other girls in the room seconded, said that it smelled really bad in the room. So I just felt bad for these girls and also really embarrassed for them too. It was just a really hot mess. And then Natalie ends up leading this fake prayer, and she tells them to slap the girl that's standing next to them. And some of the girls actually did it, which was pointless, because I don't think any of those girls, or most of those girls who did it, got a ticket anyway. But I respect the girls that didn't slap the girl standing next to them just because they were told to. To me, that doesn't make you a bad girl or a baddie because you fight and because you'll do what you're told even when you know that it's wrong. I respect the girls who didn't do what Natalie told them to do. And then at one point, there was this girl that was really, really short standing next to this girl that was extremely tall. And Natalie and Spice and Shenseea were joking around like, oh, slap the girl standing next to you. Obviously, this girl that's really short is not going to be able to even reach the girl who's really tall's face to smack her. But that fight wouldn't even be fair in the first place. And I respect the fact that the short girl did not do it. She said she wasn't going to because fighting doesn't make her a baddie. And Shenseea gave her a ticket, and Natalie and Spice did not want Shenseea to give this girl a ticket. Now, we all know this girl was not going to be casted for the show anyway, but I respect the fact that she did not do what Natalie and Spice was telling her to do, because she doesn't have to put her hands on anybody if she doesn't want to. One girl came into the room and she was complaining about the fact that she had auditioned 3 times already and she didn't get casted, and was saying that this is the last time she's going to audition. And at one point she was either rapping or she was reading something from her phone to them, and Natalie got really annoyed, and so she told some of the other girls that were auditioning to get her off the stage, and they did too. And the girl ended up getting really pissed off, so she started yelling stuff out to Natalie. So Natalie jumped up and threatened to fight the girl. The two two of them are face to face. The girl swings on Natalie. Natalie swings back. The girl's wig gets knocked off her head, and then the girl ends up getting removed. I can understand why this girl was upset, because I don't understand why Natalie thought it was a good idea to have the other girls who were auditioning grab this girl off the stage when that's what security is there for. But I feel like the girl kind of made a fool of herself too, because why come there running your mouth and complaining about the fact that you auditioned 3 times and didn't get accepted? Maybe you should try something else if it's not working out in this arena. And then another girl came up there to audition. I don't know if she came there to audition or she came up there to check Shenseea, but she ended up saying, "I don't like bitches like you," and she takes the microphone and she tosses it towards Shenseea. So Natalie and Spice jump up. Spice is trying to get over there because she wants to fight to defend Shenseea, and one of the girls that was wearing all orange grabbed this girl and beat her up for Shenseea, so she ended up getting a ticket. It was a really messed up situation. This audition was a hot mess. It was very disorganized. Some parts were entertaining, but for the most part it wasn't very enjoyable to watch because it was just too much chaos going around, and I don't like the idea of them forcing the girls who are auditioning to fight in order to get a ticket, because these girls will fight anyway. You don't have to tell them to fight. They'll fight whether you tell them to or not. They were already fighting with each other outside of the audition, so you don't have to tell them to do it in order for them to do it. And let's just go over the cast that they announced a few days ago for Baddies Caribbean. The cast that's returning is obviously Natalie, Sukiana, Scotty, Biggie, Jayla, Sapphire, Mariah Lynn, and Tasiki. And then they're having special appearances by Tommy, Aubrey O'Day, and the Claremont twins. I honestly don't know how I feel about Tommy. Like, Tommy was very entertaining on the show last time, but the way that her and Natalie have been getting into it, I don't know how that's gonna work out. Aubrey O'Day was really random for me. I don't expect her to really do much on the show. And the Claremont twins, I'm interested to see how they are on the show. They're only making special appearances. They're not really a part of the cast too much. I wasn't a fan of them on the Bad Girls Club, but we'll see what happens when they're on this show. And then celebrity cast is Bianca Bonney, Callie Way, and Meatball. I don't know who Meatball is, but Bianca Bonney, I know who she is. I'm interested to see her on the show, actually. I'm more interested in seeing Bianca than any of the other people who are making guest appearances on the show. Now, they only ended up picking 5 girls from the auditions. They picked Diamond the Body, Tinkerbella, Slim Too Bad, It's Dia, and Big Gretch. And they have an injured reserve cast, which is Rolly and Anna Mac. I know that Rolly had surgery. I don't know what's going on with Anna, though. And then replacement options is Big Kiva, J.O., Nunu, Wendeley, Jelly Bean, and Heaven Marina. I don't remember a lot of these girls from the auditions, only maybe like 4 of them I remember, but I'm interested to see what happens this season. So those are my thoughts on the Baddies Caribbean auditions. Let me know what you guys thought about this down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.